No, I had to. There was no choice. This is the review for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Season 2, Episode 5, Charades. And there's going to be spoilers. There's always spoilers, but I just need to tell you there's spoilers. So just go watch the episode, come back, and we can just talk about the episode. So I didn't know where this episode was going. It started off with Chapel, and then it started off with, then we had Spock, and then we had, I knew it was a Spock episode, and I saw obviously the clip that they release every time a new episode comes on, and I honestly sat there and I thought, oh, this is surprising. Like, there were so many moments in this episode which were really odd. Like, obviously there's an anomaly, we get our Strange New World of the week, but the shuttle comes in, and when Spock's made human, I'm going, okay, this is what we're doing. Obviously, Spock's parents-in-law or future parents-in-law are coming aboard. He's made human. Shenanigans ensue. What I didn't get was just how much I enjoyed the character moments, like Una and Uhura and Ortega's teaching him how to speak monotone because he's trying to pretend to be Vulcan. Obviously his mother talking about how to express himself and him getting angry and acting kind of like a teenager. The funny thing is I don't think Leonard Nimoy's Spock could do this. I think Ethan Peck's youth really helps with this. And oh, by the way, Ethan Peck, when he's Spock, when he's got the pointed eyebrows and the pointed ears, I think, oh, he's just Spock. Not as in I don't like it, I love his performance, but he's just Spock. I don't at all. But the minute he's got human eyebrows and human ears, I think this is a handsome guy. It's as a gay man, I'm like, he is hot.
It's sort of nice, isn't it?
Yes.
I really enjoyed just his relationship with Chapel. We'd seen bits of it throughout the series, their closeness, the will they won't they-ness. I like T'Pring, and I feel like T'Pring has had valid reasons. I love how T'Pring's mother is treated like just an annoying mother-in-law, or a very strong-willed mother. The only thing, in terms of the portrayal of the Vulcans, I had a bit of an issue with the fact that all of the Vulcans seemed emotional in this. Like, if you're trying to emphasize how human Spock has gotten, why are all the Vulcans so emotional? Like, the mother is the least emotional, but also a bit of a cow, and clearly disdains Spock. The father of T'Pring is very emotional, and T'Pring herself seems almost out of character in this one. I get that this is, I want to say, a comedy-ish episode. I really enjoyed seeing it was a funny episode, like Pike's faces when those things are said, and Pike's reactions to all the scenarios. Like, it was like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just like, he loved every moment of it, but he was just surprised by some of the crap that they said. I genuinely enjoyed the episode. It was a fun episode. When Chapel's storyline is coming to terms with her feelings for Spock. And I feel like this was kind of a weird way to get there, like sort of forcing her to say how she feels about him. But I suppose when it comes to the end of the episode, it makes sense. That emotions are raw, they go with it. T'Pring noticing that Chapel and him are close. I think that worked. I think his reasoning for not telling T'Pring was pretty reasonable. Like, it made sense on a human level. And while I enjoy that dynamic, I did feel at the end when, skipping to the end, so spoilers, his feelings for Chapel felt worthwhile. And the fact that they kiss at the end and very, like, I've never seen him act more sexed up than with Chapel right there. And I liked that moment, and I felt like it was built up, and I felt like it worked within Strange New Worlds. Where it doesn't work is the relationship in the original series, which is more of a Chapel loves him, but she's not going to go there thing. You never really see any reciprocal emotion from Spock. So it's an interesting, like, maybe they break up horribly later on. I don't know. I enjoyed the moments with Amanda, with his mum, and that emotional connection that develops because obviously he's more emotional and more human. I enjoyed that element. I enjoyed the element of he's he's understanding her for the first time. And when they talk about that memory at the end of him going to school and playing with the Vulcan kids asking him to play, and he talks about how Amanda fell in love with the Vulcan and it was really difficult for her. And the mother moments hit, hands down. Chapel's emotional connection to Spock, hit it, hands down. The only thing, and as I said, the only two little things, is the Vulcans seem too emotional, and how does this play into TOS? And we're not going to find that out for a while, I imagine. I did enjoy how this was a two-hander. It was Chapel and it was Spock. Anson Mount obviously still doing paternity leave or something because he's just not in the episode. Like, he's there, he's in the background, but they could have recorded that at any time. But funnily enough, he made the episode. We saw as well the really cool like green uniform that Pike wears. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the, I want to say alternate dimensional, the space-time creatures who are kind of like a government service and are like, well, you haven't complained in time, so you don't get that. And that kind of makes sense. But Chapel having to confess basically that she loves Spock in order to get him fixed seems a little bit weird to me. Overall, great episode, really fun, kept it going. The one thing I wanted to talk about in this episode is we had a space anomaly, we had a planet, and all I keep thinking with Strange New Worlds is I love watching the characters. I enjoy watching the characters grow and develop. I find it really weird that we haven't, because they talk about going to traditional Star Trek and being a traditional Star Trek. We don't really go to Strange New Worlds and we don't really encounter strange new things. It seems to just be the background is your science fiction stuff. The rest is all character drama. Now, funnily enough, the show that it reminds me of in terms of that is Star Trek Voyager. Because TNG still had a bit of a mix of that. Deep Space Nine very much sort of focused on its war, but it still had some exploration-ish. Voyager very much dealt with the drama on the ship. So the thing outside would affect someone on the ship. TNG, it was something was happening and it was a mystery and it's a new alien or a new thing going on. And I think that's what I'm missing. I'm missing that sense of strange and new because it seems a little bit like as much as I like character drama, Star Trek, I also enjoy watching high concept stuff. I like watching anomalies and I like watching theoretical stuff and I like watching aliens who do crazy shit or really weird stuff. And Strange New Worlds just lacks that a little bit. There's not so much strange and new as I keep saying. It's just sort of they go to a world and then some character drama happens over here. And to be fair, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is one of the stronger shows. Even its below normal episode is still good. Most of the time the episodes are good or great, so it's more consistent. But even Discovery has thrown a few high concept stuff towards us, and with Species 10C and things like that. And I'm a bit curious as to why Strange New Worlds having that title hasn't really done that. We haven't seen anything new this season. Not to say I'm hands down enjoying this season. It's just something I've noticed. Otherwise, this episode in particular was a nice sort of tonal shift, a bit lighter, a bit wackier. Ethan Peck does a great job playing sort of that highly emotional person. Like all the crew had little bits in it that were really fun. And I generally enjoyed it. I was smiling the whole way through. Really good. I hope we get a little bit more aliens later on, a little bit more strange. But yeah, tell me what you think. Leave it in the comments. Like, subscribe, maybe share it around. I'll be back next week for episode 6. We're already halfway through the season, which is crazy. And make sure to come back to Trek.trav.